Hello. This is my first time doing any kind of video that just isn't animated, I suppose. So I'm just going to be doing some inking today. I use just a brush, dip ink, whatever the one. It has a spider on it. That's the reason I buy this one. It's the only reason, if you want me to be honest. I like this dude. Yeah, I did a Q&A sort of thing just so I figured I'd have I'm a little nervous. I've not done this before. My voice is dumb and weird. I did the Q&A thing so I'd have something to talk about, I guess. So I'll answer the questions that were asked. There was a couple. First question I remember was, what's your favorite tea? And the answer is pu'er. I love pu'er, but I like pretty much every kind of tea. Green's a big fave, just because it's easy to get and so versatile and delicious. It's going to be tough getting used to this. This is a brand new bottle of ink, so I'm already going a bit too heavy on it. Oh well, such as it be. That's just kind of, you deal with it as it comes, I suppose. Another question was, how do I do a comic page? Which, I mean, everyone's methods are going to be their own and unique, and whatever works for you works for you. For me, it's just panels first. Well, I guess first, actually, I'd, up on the upper margin, which is now cut off, I would write just a quick synopsis like exit building or talk about subject blank, and just as long as that makes it onto the page, I just kind of wing it otherwise, I suppose. Not happy with that line, but we deal with it. If I really don't like it, I'll fix it in Photoshop, but for the most part, I leave it, because the next page might be better, might be worse. You just kind of have to learn to pick your battles, I guess. If I spent too much time fiddling over every single little thing I didn't like, I'd never finish a single page ever. So I guess you just gotta let some things go. Once the rest of it's ink, you might not even notice it anymore. Oh, spoilers, I guess. This page is like, we're already halfway through chapter 30 in this segment, so oopsies. My bad. Yeah, after I do the panels, the dialogue is always the first thing I sketch in, because I want to work around the bubbles, so I don't end up cramming them into too tight of a corner. So I'll draw those written first, and then I'll just kind of lay out where the characters are, which is with circles. You can kind of see lighter circles of where I just want the heads to go. And yeah, I'll do a few pages at a time, just simple like that, and then throughout the week I'll just sit down and sketch out a couple in the evening. And that's the process. After that, they get scanned, they get cleaned up, they get colored. Pretty straightforward. I think that's about it. I guess I can talk about webcomic, my specific joy and history in webcomic. Well, I read them a ton when I was a kid, mostly in high school, and I started writing my first one, I think I was 16 years old, and somehow I finished it, which I'm very proud of still. I don't know if you remember an old one called Hot Chocolate. It was a little romance comic. It's like really silly, but I'm still kind of proud that I, at 16, managed to do that. And then I started writing the first draft of Some or Other. I made it to about chapter 13, I think, for that. And yeah, I was in college at that point, so I kind of just dropped it. I had way too much else going on. And I'm doing the second draft now, which a little more than halfway done it, and I'm still very happy about that. I'm hoping to finish it within the next 2 years, but you know, I don't like giving myself too much of a time limit for these. It'll get done when it gets done, but I would like to move on to another bigger project someday. I wrote Blot when I was finishing up college and when I was first working. I've been working as an animator for the past 7 years, and I enjoy that. And then a couple mini comics here and there, shorter runs. I'm working on Wimp Witch now, which I should be finished within a couple months. I've slowed down a bit on it just because I'm trying to draw it out, because I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done with that. Let me just double check because I have some paranoia problems. Yeah, it's recording. Hope that wasn't too loud. I'm not good at editing, so I apologize in advance. Yeah. I don't really know what else to talk about, I guess. This is difficult. Normally I can't be stopped, and here I am, I don't know what to say. I'm just enjoying the inking. It's a beautiful day outside, like absolutely perfect, gorgeous. I am happy that I don't have to be bundled up because I have been cold so much lately. And a little stuffed up, sniffles, whatever you call that. Nova Scotia's been pretty bleak lately with the weather. And this is the first stint of nice days in a row we've had in months. 2 in a row is already rare. I'm quite happy about that. So at this point I have only tiny lines left to do, and I have a lot of ink on my brush. So I'm just going to go over and do some bigger lines over here and then come back when I've got my brush a little less clogged up with ink, just so that doesn't happen again. Stuff like that. Tiny inking is always so tedious. But yeah, it's nice out. I might bring the cats out later. They love to go in the backyard. We have them harness trained so they don't go far. We also have one of those strollers for them, which I think it's funner for us than it is for them. They like it, but it's fun to see the reactions of people who are like, oh, what a sweet little very furry baby. Oh, you're one of those people. You're just weird. Which is great. That's the kind of reaction I go for from people I meet. Just a little weirdo. Right, panel 2. Usually a page takes me between half an hour and 45 minutes, depending on the complexity. This one's got a great big... These lines are always like... They make me a little anxious to get to them, because like they're big, they're sweeping. It's easy to mess those up, I find. But there's also fewer of them. So, you know, ups and downs. Yes. I feel like I've hit that point when you're talking to someone on the phone and you don't know really what to say anymore, so you just kind of go all king of the hill on them, like, yeah, except I don't have a beer right now, which would be nice. Maybe later. We'll see how I feel. Went out last night and I had a little bit too much. Okay, no, I had too much wine. It was really good, and I don't regret it. Just did they regret the slight headache I've got right now. But the wine was good. Don't regret that. I like my wine. I guess I'll give a little more of an introduction to myself. I live in Canada, Nova Scotia specifically. I've lived here my whole life, except for like 4 months in New Brunswick, which I don't really count, because like, that's just the next province over, so it's not that far. I've been an animator for, well, professionally 7 years. And I spent 2 years in college for that. 2D animator, I should specify. Funny enough, I went to college for 3D, but I got a 2D job, which I think I prefer. I only took 3D because like that was the course I found, and that's where I thought all the jobs were, and I was wrong. And it was a good thing to find out I was wrong about, because I enjoy my job. I've worked on, well, mainly Teen Titans Go. I've worked on like the first 5 seasons of that in the movie. And that was really fun. It was a great show to work on. Good material and just fun in general. I work on, I don't know if anyone's heard of Prison Pit. It's an adult show. It's ridiculous. I like it. What else? A couple shows that were more over in the UK. Roy and Tilly and Friends were a couple. I enjoyed Roy quite a bit since there was only one character mixed in with live action, which was interesting to work on. Can't talk about what I'm working on now, obviously, but, you know, NDAs, how she be. What's some non-industry things I could talk about? I have 2 cats. They're terrible, terrible boys, and I love them very much. Their names are Sinclair and Oswald. Specifically, Augustus Sinclair and Oswald Mandus are their full names. I've already got my next cat's name picked out, and whenever I get another boy, his name is going to be Carmichael Jacobs. I'm very excited for that day. I've also got several dog names picked out on the occasion that I ever get a dog, which I would love. I actually just went to the post office. I bought a bow tie for my parents' dog, which I call my dog, because that's my boy. So, you know, he'll be getting a little bow tie in the mail. Pink as requested, and sparkly. He will be very, very pretty. It will look good against his black and white fur. Oswald's currently wearing a bright blue bow tie. He previously had a pink strawberry bow tie, which was adorable. He looked so cute. And he doesn't mind bow ties or collars. Neither of them do, really. Bird's eyes turned out a little weird there, but again, such as it be. That's just how this one's gonna go, I guess. Some pages turn out better than others, and some days are better for inking than others. Some days it's just a struggle to get any lines to work good, I should say. Today is a medium day, I guess, from how I'm feeling. I'm looking forward to going outside later, though. Alright, big sweepy line, my favorite. The process, I suppose. Normally when I ink or do any sort of art, I like to listen to creepypastas. Some really good ones I enjoy. My current favorite is Cerber. I've been listening to Nature's Temper read that one. Very, very good. Good mix of funny, sad, scary, and just interesting. My other favorites, a good long one I like is On a Hill. And a couple weeks ago I finally listened to The Left-Right Game, which I had me hooked right from like the first 10 minutes. It was a 6-hour one, but well worth it. Took me all day to listen to it, but it kept me occupied. Yeah, I like spooky stories. They're super fun. which is weird because I'm a huge wimp. But, off kilter, but whatever. It's enough of a close-up that I don't think it's going to matter too much. Sometimes you just got to go with it. Cool. 2 more. 3 more. I can count. Now we're getting into more of a flow of things. I don't know how I'm going to edit this yet. I might not. I might just throw it all up in one big meaty chunk, but I guess we'll see. We'll see if I can like shorten it a little bit or something. I feel like if I did too much editing, it'll like look weird with all the jumps and the ink progress. So I guess these are just going to go up as is. I also really, I love listening to music while I ink. Tobita is really good, nice and chill. Really like Infected Mushroom, just for some nice upbeat stuff. Asylum Street Spankers I love listening to. I like a good mix of everything. Like, I guess my 2 favorite genres would be like electronic and like jazz and blues. Good stuff. Muse is another big favorite of mine. I like their music. Little Miss Higgins, which if you've seen my Liar Liar music video, heavily inspired by a lot of her music. She's very good, very nice to talk to as well. I'm very grateful and thankful that she let me use her music in my videos. It was a lot of fun to work on. I've got there's going to be one some or other animated update this year. Probably won't be until, I'm guessing, December, the way my schedule is going. But yeah, at the end of arc 15 is going to have an animated update. And then actually right after that, arc 16 is also going to have one. So I got to get motoring down on my animation because it's going to be a packed year for that next year, I think, if I can get myself hunkered down enough to actually work on it, which it'll be winter time by then anyway, so what else am I going to do? Problem is animation and pages. Keeping up with both is hard, so that's why I'm thinking when I'm done with Wimp Witch, I'm not going to be doing another secondary webcomic for quite a while until I'm done with some or other, because it's going to get pretty laborious, I should say, for the last few chapters. Because we're in chapter 30 now. Arc 14 out of 20. Can't believe, don't want to jinx it, but I made it this far. Here's to hoping. Here is to hoping. I was thinking of doing one of these every now and again, whenever I've got a page or 2 set up for ink. What I usually do is I'll leave all of my inking for Saturdays, because Saturday is chore day, Sunday is color day, so I like to have all of my pages inked and scanned and just ready to dig into on Sunday. I like to live by a schedule. It just makes it a little easier on my brain. Also, to-do lists are my best friend. I love crossing things off. Even right down to, like, you need to have a shower goes on my to-do list. Just so I can cross it off later. We're getting right down to the wire for this one. Almost done. I've still got a Wimp Witch page I have to ink. I'm leaving those ones right to the last minute because, good planning. But I might ink that one off camera because, like, I don't want to make these too long, I guess, for my first ones. Maybe next week I'll the Webcomic page instead of the somewhere other page. I've already inked one of this week's somewhere other pages. I try to at least keep on par and do 2 pages a week, but some pages I ended up being able to pump out 3, which I'm quite happy about, but that hasn't been happening much lately. I've been pretty, I don't know if I want to say busy, just like my energy's been going to other things, and I don't have much to spare for some things. I'm sure it'll come back in time. That's why I like to have a bit of a backlog for those weeks when you just can't get it done. Oopsies, I forgot to draw Bert. I'm going to have to improvise. We're going to wing it. This ought to be fun. Your motorbike out there. Sounds fun. Let's see, what else could I gab about? Oh, no, save that for another time. I got some stories I could tell too that are pretty fun, but I'd like to set up like a whole video around those. I don't know, feels like it's more easy to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know anymore. I lost it. I guess what it was trying to say was I'd like, if I were going to do some storytelling, to have like the whole thing focused around that, so I could like make it beginning, middle, and end. For another time, I suppose. His nose is up pretty high, but not bad for winging it. I just need the mouth. That'll do. Last panel. Okay. Summer's in a couple weeks. I'm very excited. We might be taking a trip to Ottawa this summer. I've never been. Last year we went to Montreal just for a couple days. That was really fun. Saw some old friends. Went to a couple arcades. I love arcades. One just opened up downtown here. Got I don't know, a dozen machines. They got NARC, so I'm happy. That's one I like to play, even though I'm terrible at it. And they sell beer, so win-win. I think my favorite arcade I ever went to was Rec Room in Toronto. That was fun. I love me some old-fashioned stuff. Been into playing pool lately too. I'm not good at it, but it's fun to go. You know, good way to keep your time going. Man, those long lines stress me out. There's another one coming. But it's definitely, I don't know, didn't turn out as good, but whatever. It's definitely been better this time around because my old ink is so like clogged up and gunky. Makes it pretty much impossible to do the sweeping lines, but this new one's fine. Could stand to get a new brush soon, but I don't know. This one's lasted me a few months. It'll probably last a few more. They're only like $3, so they're not expensive. The ink is like $7, and one of those bottles will last me like 4 or 5 months, so it's not bad. The paper's the most expensive at like $10 a pad. But again, one pad will last me like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Got the snuffles, don't like it. Oh dear, shouldn't have done that. Glob a little bit off down there. I don't like having too much loaded on my brush when I'm doing like eyes and stuff. Less is more. I think that'll do it. I hope this was at least a fun little experiment. I had fun, I guess, for as short as it was. Maybe next week I'll do a Wimpwhip page, which I'm going to work on right now. I'll be uploading this one tomorrow, so you'll see it for too long. Yeah, send some questions to my Twitter or email, I guess, if you want me to answer anything specifically. Or if you want stories or whatevs. I got a few weird ones. Because I've lived in a lot of apartments and very strange neighborhoods, and some weird stuff has happened. Alright, so that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I had fun doing fun thing. Words. Goodbye.